I'm Randy Leedy. Since being laid off from my seminary Greek teaching position a year ago, I've been working to reconfigure myself as an internet presence, assisting those who are looking to develop their Greek skills. Since my name is probably best associated with the BibleWorks Greek New Testament sentence diagrams, and since there seems to be a growing interest on the part of Greek students and teachers regarding diagramming, I've been focusing my efforts in that particular direction. You can see some of what I've been up to at my website, www.ntgreekguy.com. Let's go there now, but first let me mention that there are a couple of special offers coming up later in this video, so you might not want to stop watching too soon. Here we are at my website. Before I get into the main focus of this video, let me just give you a quick tour of some of the key things available here. I have a Facebook group for Greek New Testament diagramming with about 1,400 members that you might be interested to check out. Also a YouTube channel with how to diagram videos. This will be an extensive series on how to diagram when it's finished. It's well along its development now. The main thing at my website is the Greek New Testament sentence diagrams that are for sale, and you can see that Logos is now taking pre-publication orders for the diagrams as well. You can click there to read more about that. Not related to diagramming, I've also written a short book, and I'm offering a free copy of it with the purchase of a full set of diagrams. You will need to request the book. It's not automatic. Of course, the details are given on the site here. I've also developed a Microsoft Word macro to convert the BibleWorks Greek font to Unicode. This would be of interest for people who have a significant investment in the BibleWorks font that they'd like to convert now to Unicode since BibleWorks has gone out of business. And of course, Unicode has become the widely accepted standard for original language fonts. I should have mentioned that there is a menu in the upper left-hand corner of the website. Here, let's go ahead and click to visit the resources page, which is where we're going to start to focus now. There's a document here that you may be interested in. There are the YouTube videos I've already mentioned, but here's where we're going to settle down now with the PowerPoint sentence diagramming environment. Logos, Accordance, and the website BibleArc.com all provide diagramming environments, and there may be other options as well. But what if you don't have Logos or Accordance, or for whatever reason you're not satisfied with them? And maybe you find BibleArc to be too limiting. Is there an option for drawing Greek sentence diagrams electronically without all the labor of painstakingly constructing every little line and text box with a graphics editor? Yes, there is, and it's free of charge if you have Microsoft PowerPoint. Before getting into that PowerPoint file, I want to scroll down and show you a list of videos that are here to support your diagramming work in that environment. Let's enlarge it a little bit for readability. You can see there are 5 parts to the video series that's here to give you support, and there's quite a lot of detail in it. This same list of videos is also available with links right within the PowerPoint file itself. Now I've opened the PowerPoint file. Let me explain to start with that this is just a PowerPoint file. There's no magic programming of any kind here, so this file will behave in all the normal ways a PowerPoint file would. You develop your content within the file just as you would any other PowerPoint presentation, and you copy, save, rename, etc. externally, including saving it as a template file if you wish, just like any other PowerPoint file. Let me jump down real quickly to slides 6 and 7 to show you the support that's available here. I won't enlarge this because I don't really want to take time for reading any of this slide, but you just notice that there's some written instructions here for you. This is slide 6. Slide 7 is even more interesting. The list of videos that I mentioned is here, but you notice that the palette of diagramming symbols over on the right is also provided with an enumerated key. And each of those key numbers is a link to the exact point in a PowerPoint video where that particular diagramming symbol is discussed and demonstrated. As an example, we'll watch the video for link number 26, the appositive symbol. Number 26 is an appositive symbol. So for example, if you had a sentence, Jesus spoke to Paul the apostle, you could drag out the appropriate baseline for Jesus spoke, and then you might bring out an indirect object modifier for the verb. Jesus spoke to Paul, and then the apostle would connect right here. Okay, that's enough to give you the idea of what you have there in the way of video support. Now let's go back to slide 1 and we'll begin drawing a diagram. There are some instruction boxes that we'll just delete to get them out of our way. You notice I also have boxes for 1/2 inch and 1 inch margins if you're drawing with the idea of printing or saving on an 8.5 by 11 inch page. This PowerPoint slide is actually 11 inches tall but 13 inches wide, which provides an additional 4.5 inches on the right side here for the diagramming symbol palette. For the purposes of this video, I'll just leave these margin boxes in place, but normally you would delete one or both of them. I've set up this file with a fairly fine grid. It's 1/20th of an inch, and the various diagramming symbols are designed in multiples of 1/20th of an inch, so they should snap naturally together without having to fiddle much with the exact alignment. Of course, there are command keys within PowerPoint to tweak the alignment as you may need to, and my video support explains them. The basic strategy for drawing a diagram is to drag copies of the various diagramming symbols from the palette out onto the canvas, and then copy and paste Greek text into the various word slots in each of those symbols. The way you drag a copy is by holding the Control key down as you drag a symbol. That leaves the original in place so that it will be there when you need to use it again, and you have a fresh copy to work with on the diagramming canvas. Let's go ahead and enlarge the size now so that it's much more readable than it currently is. I'll set it for 100%. I will now triple click to select all of this instructional text in this text box where the Greek text for the diagram goes. I already had some Greek text on my clipboard, so I've just pasted it in. This is Romans 10:11, and the text reads, "For the scripture says, everyone believing upon him will not be ashamed." And I'll observe in passing that this is not a command. I've sometimes heard the passage preached as though this is a command not to be ashamed of Christ. But this is not a command, this is a promise. Everyone trusting in him will not be put to shame in the sense of not having that confidence disappointed, because Christ will never fail to do what he has promised to do. So the main clause has as its subject, he graphe. I will copy, and I will come down here and double-click the word subject and paste the Greek word in its place. The verb is lege. I will come up here, double-click to select, then copy, double-click verb, and paste. The object is going to be the whole quotation, and so I will delete the word object off of that symbol, because to introduce a quotation, you use a downward pointing standard, or some would call it a stilt, so I'll drag a copy of that out. And there is no conjunction to introduce this quotation, so I'll delete the conjunction and just leave the stilt. At this point, for the sake of time, I'll just show you very rapidly how the rest of the diagram is built. And there's our diagram. Part 3 of the video instructions for this template, not Part 3 in the How to Diagram series. Part 3 of the video instructions for this template shows diagram building in much greater detail, and Part 4 explains how to convert your diagram for saving or printing in letter size page format. Now let me talk a little bit about the sentence diagrams that are for sale on my website. These are the diagrams that were published in BibleWorks covering the whole New Testament text. There are 2,000 pages roughly of sentence diagrams here, quite a lot of ancillary material, including about 1,000 grammatical notes on various issues. You see the navigation bar over here on the left. Let's just open to Romans 1 and look at the diagram for verse 24. And you notice there's a little icon here that shows the note that's available. Of course, we can zoom in so that this is much larger and easier to read. Here's the text of that note, but I don't think I'll take the time to read it in this video. So these are the BibleWorks sentence diagrams in PDF form available for sale on my website. Let's talk about some special deals. But first, some basic information. I've mentioned the pre-publication offer for Logos, and other forms of publication are also under consideration, but are not likely to materialize in the near future. We can hope for the Logos version to be released before the end of 2020. Here are the prices. Of course, details are available on the website. And here are the deals. There's a Daily Dose of Greek coupon, DDOG, or DDOG10, either one will work. This gives you 10% off, and there's no expiration date. There's a shorter term coupon, DDOG15. It expires June 30th for 15% off. And then the DDOG20 coupon expires on June the 15th for 20% off. Be sure when you're purchasing the diagrams and intending to use a coupon code that you pay attention during the checkout process for this little note right here, got a code. When you click there, you'll then have a field in which you can fill in the code, and the price will change to reflect the discount. I can't promise that I'll go back and make refunds for people who forget to use the code. So I hope the diagrams and the diagramming environment will be of value to you. Quite a number of people are using the diagramming environment in PowerPoint with good results. I'm encouraged by what I hear. So as I say at the end of all my instructional videos on diagramming method, happy diagramming!